want to ask about Gui Santos. We are from ESPN Brazil, so we want to talk about Gui Santos. He recently had his best three games stretch. His first career double-double to 16-point game. I just want to know he definitely passed the trying to prove himself stage, and now he's a true valuable piece for this team.
Yeah, he's been really effective for us. He was great last year at the end of the year, and now with the injuries that we've had, he's really stepped up and he's playing at a high level. I think he's going to be in the NBA for a long time.
Is Steph doing anything on the court, or are you guys kind of just, I guess shutting him down right now from activity?
I don't know. I haven't, I haven't seen him on the court. I know he was on the table with Rick earlier this afternoon. So I don't really have much of an update other than it's just a day-to-day thing.
Steve, Draymond addressed it a couple of days ago when there are big trade rumors, big names are going to be involved, and I know it's not anything you want to address directly, but when someone like Draymond is in this discussion, does that cause a little ripple more so than the ordinary name out there? Does anything that you need to address when it's somebody who's won championships, who's been here for so long, who's been such a huge part of this, is really in this speculation?
Yeah, I mean, I talked to him a little bit about it yesterday, and I just try to get a feel for what's out there, what's happening, and if I need to just step in and say something or talk to a guy, I'll do that. And this is probably the first time, I would say, since I've been here that his name has ever been really mentioned in trade talks. So it's different, but it's also part of the league. It's part of almost every player's journey in this league, just being mentioned. But it is the first time, so it's for him. So it's a little different.
He said that he's not losing sleep over it. Is that the sense you get from him? He's a veteran. He knows these things come up. Or could this be something that gets in his head a little bit?
Well, that's what we all tell you, that we don't lose sleep. But we all lose sleep over this stuff. It's a weird profession, and a very transient nature to it all. And so it's something every coach has to sort of manage and navigate with his players. And I try to do it in a broad sense with our guys every year, just in terms of what the job is and how to best manage yourself and in this profession and how to do that. And then if there are individual names and things that are being talked about, I'll check in with guys periodically. So this has definitely been a more difficult one than most. Last year's was very difficult as well. We had a lot of years where nobody was really overly concerned about anything. But these last 2 years, there's been a lot of chatter, and it puts guys on edge for sure.
Steve, over here. Along these lines, what did you think of all the activity today? Not really asking you on a specific player, but a lot of notable names, Jaren Jackson, now James Harden. I'm just curious your thought on the activity level 48 hours out.
Not surprising. I mean, there usually are a few big deals around the deadline. Obviously, I never want to comment on anybody else's acquisitions or players' names or teams or anything like that. But yeah, I wasn't shocked.
Brock Morgan, the Medill News Service. Tyrese Maxey is 5th in the NBA for points. How do you contain him tonight?
Well, he's lightning fast. He can shoot threes. He's one of the best guards in the league. So we've got to send a lot of bodies at him. Don't let him get the same look over and over again. Change the matchups, change the schemes throughout, and try to keep him off balance as best we can. Jay, you got your journalism class here? That's impressive. I think in my journalism class, we went.
Steve, do you know
we
if
went to the Quad. We didn't go across the country to San Francisco. So, well done, Northwestern journalism. Good job.
do you know if Steph and J.K. plan to be a part of the traveling party?
I don't know. Yeah.
If you're in a starting lineup mood, but sometimes when Steph's been out, you've started Spencer, sometimes you haven't. Is Pat Spencer going to start tonight? Could he, theoretically?
He could. He
Theoretically.
could. In theory. In theory. Yeah.
Hi, Coach. Brendan Prizeman, Medill News Service. You talked about how it can be a struggle for players when their names come up in those trade discussions. How do you balance handling that while also working with the front office and saying, here's where we might need an upgrade, here's what we are looking maybe to acquire in the trade at the trade deadline?
It's a good question. It's just that's the kind of the job as coach is you're looking after your players and you care for them, and then you also are partnering with the front office, and there are moments where those things get intertwined and it's difficult. So I think the biggest thing is just the overall sense that the players get that they are being looked after organizationally. And I think it's one of the best things we do, frankly. We've got a lot of amazing people with our organization who are constantly caring for the players. Between the training staff and support staff, I think our players have a very good sense that we care about them. And then, as I mentioned earlier, just having the occasional chat with the team about, what this league is about and how to navigate it. Almost everybody in the league ends up getting traded at some point. So there are a lot of things you have to consider, and we try to help our guys with that as much as we can.
Steve, no matter who starts tonight, how different do you need to play without Steph? I mean, you've talked about how unique the style is with him. How does it change just sort of the stylistically tonight?
Yeah, we have to get some easy baskets, so we've got to play faster. We've got to get some offensive rebounds, hopefully, get some turnovers. We've been pretty good with that the last couple of weeks. So force some mistakes, get some easy hoops in transition, that sort of thing.
Steve, how much input do you give and how much do they ask for in terms of pending possible trades? And also, do you have anxiety, especially after how it went a year ago?
So, we have a pretty clear separation of powers here, which I think is the right way to do it. And so, Mike calls me if anything comes up. I don't call him and make any suggestions. He called me today to kind of give me a heads up on some of the things they were talking about. They definitely take my input, but I'm not on the trade machine at home, making suggestions.
Do you have anxiety as well?
Yeah, I mean, last year was really tough, It was a good trade for the organization. But going into that locker room in Salt Lake City and telling, Wiggs and Kyle Anderson, Dennis Schroeder, that they were all being traded. It was a weird, a really weird moment, and especially with Wiggs, somebody who had been here for years and was such a big part of the team, someone who was beloved in the locker room. Those are difficult conversations, and so yeah, I mean, I really like this team, and I don't want to see any of these guys moved, honestly, but it's part of the deal. I'm sorry. I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
I said you might get to welcome Wiggs back.
Yeah, well, you're allowed to say that. I'm not getting fined. I'm gonna.
See, Jimmy's been gone down for a couple of weeks now, and I'm wondering, in that time, how often have you bothered to look back, or has it all been looking forward, and how much has his loss influenced what you've had to do and what you plan to do going forward? What
I'm doing, coaching wise, or Yeah, I mean, it's obviously impacted the lineup and the rotations, and you know, we've talked about Guy before. I mean, he's playing a lot more, playing really well. We're going away from, you know, the offensive stuff that we did through Jimmy for obvious reasons. So we are reimagining ourselves a little bit, and I don't spend a whole lot of time looking back. There's no point. I feel bad for Jimmy most of all. He was having a great year, and we were really starting to click and felt really good about where we were heading. And you know, but that's in the past, and we've got to move forward.